If the world asked you to choose between your own life or the future of someone you love, what would you do? In the heart of an ancient forest, one tiny creature made that choice. Deep inside Evergreen Forest lived a tiny firefly named Lumo. Unlike other fireflies, Lumo's glow was weak, just a faint spark, barely enough to light a single leaf. But even so, Lumo dreamed of becoming a guardian light, one of the legendary fireflies whose glow guides young creatures through storms, darkness, and danger. The other fireflies would often laugh at him. A guardian? You barely shine at all. But Lumo wasn't angry, just quietly sad. Every night, he practiced glowing again and again, hoping one day he'd shine bright enough to help someone. One evening, Lumo found a baby squirrel, Mira, crying under a fallen tree branch. She was too small to climb, too weak to move, and too scared to call for her family. Lumo fluttered close and whispered, "Don't worry, I'll stay with you." His glow, small but warm, lit the darkness around her. For Mira, that tiny glow felt like safety. From that night on, Lumo and Mira became inseparable. Mira would run and play through the forest during the day, and Lumo would guide her home every single night with his faint golden light. Even if he wasn't the brightest firefly in the forest, he was the one who never left her side. Their friendship deepened with each passing day. Mira would share stories of her adventures, describing the colors of flowers Lumo couldn't see in the daylight. In return, Lumo would tell her tales of the stars and the moon, secrets only the night creatures knew. He learned that his small light, though insignificant to others, meant the entire world to Mira. It was her North Star, her personal beacon in the vast, dark woods. He felt a purpose he'd never known before. He wasn't just practicing anymore. He was shining for her. One evening, a terrifying change swept through the forest. Fierce winds rushed through the trees like angry spirits. Storm clouds swallowed the sky, plunging everything into an unnatural darkness. Thunder shook the very ground, and animals ran for whatever shelter they could find. But Mira was far from her home, lost and alone in the dark, chaotic woods. She called out with a trembling voice, "Lumo, where are you?" Lumo heard her tiny, desperate cry carried on the wind. Pushing his weak wings as hard as he could, he fought against the gale until he found her, shivering under a massive, exposed root. "I'm here," he said, his voice steady despite the storm. "Follow my light." But the forest had turned into a treacherous maze. Trees cracked and groaned. Branches fell like spears from the sky. The rain turned the ground into thick, dangerous mud. The familiar path to Mira's home was completely blocked by a fallen giant oak. There was only one way left, through the hollow gorge, a narrow, treacherous path where even the brightest, strongest fireflies feared to fly. But Lumo didn't hesitate for a second. "Hold on, Mira. I'll get you home." The wind inside the gorge was brutal. Each gust felt like a physical blow, pushing Lumo back and threatening to extinguish his weak glow time and time again. Mira cried out, her voice filled with terror. "Lumo, your light, it's fading." Lumo looked back at her, at the small, frightened face that trusted him completely. He smiled softly, a promise in his eyes. "Then I'll give it everything I have." And he did. He burned his last reserves of energy, his last drops of light, forcing himself to shine brighter than he ever had in his entire life. His small body trembled from the strain. His wings weakened, barely able to keep him aloft. But his glow became a brilliant, unwavering golden beam, a spear of pure light cutting through the heart of the storm. Animals hiding in nearby burrows saw that incredible light. They whispered in awe, "A guardian light. But who is it?" Lumo guided Mira through the storm, step by step, his light a fortress against the darkness. Finally, she reached the hollow in the old oak where her family was waiting, safe and sound. The moment she stepped inside, Lumo's magnificent glow flickered, once, twice, and then it went out. His tiny, exhausted body dropped softly, silently, into the wet grass. When the storm finally ended and the sun rose, the forest was quiet. Mira searched desperately, calling his name. "Lumo, please wake up. You promised you'd stay with me." But Lumo's glow had burned out completely. He had used every last spark, every fiber of his being, to save the one creature who had always believed in him. The forest gathered, owls, foxes, birds, and rabbits. Even the fireflies who once mocked him came, their lights dim with shame and sorrow. They saw what Lumo had done. They understood the sacrifice. As a gentle breeze passed through the trees, a silent understanding rippled through the crowd. And then, something miraculous happened. 1,000 fireflies lit up at once, their combined light filling the night sky with a breathtaking sea of golden stars. They shone for Lumo. They honored the tiniest firefly who had possessed the biggest heart. From that night forward, every creature in the forest knew his name, Lumo, the guardian of the storm. And whenever the forest faced darkness, the fireflies would whisper to their young, a story passed down through generations. Sometimes the smallest light saves the biggest future. The world doesn't measure you by how bright you are, but by how you choose to shine when someone else is lost in the dark. Be someone's Lumo. Sacrifice is love in its purest form. Thank you for watching.